Hello lovelies, and welcome to this practice. Today our practice is going to be a Yin Yang Flow dedicated to runners. So we're going to bring in both the benefits of Yin Yoga, which focuses on holding our positions for a little bit longer and releasing tension specifically in our connective tissue. And then we are also going to bring in some more of the dynamic movement from our Vinyasa flow to both stretch and strengthen. So our focus is going to be on quite a rounded practice. So looking at both stretching and strengthening our hamstrings. And runners often have quite tight hips. So we're going to focus on some hip releasing postures. And also trying to release some tension in our IT band, this big fascial network along the side of our legs. So it will also be a nice practice for anybody who wants to focus on these parts of the body. So we're going to start our practice with some Yin Yoga, which is always good to do while you are still cold. In this way your muscles haven't activated yet, and we can really get into that connective tissue. So for your practice, if you could have 2 blocks which can be supplemented by books. I like to keep one on either side of my mat, so as we move from side to side you have it there already. And then I have a bolster here, but this could be supplemented just by a cushion, anything else that you have, a few cushions, a blanket, and if you like, also perhaps having a strap nearby. So just get your props and then we'll get started. So our first position is going to be a little forward fold to get into our hamstrings. So you can just bring your left leg towards your inner right thigh. And we just want to be really soft here. So the beauty of Yin Yoga is that your shape doesn't have to look like anything in particular. It doesn't have to look what I'm doing. Just feeling into the body and finding a shape that's going to help you to bring some release. So we're thinking about softly folding over, not activating the muscles, just really getting into the connective tissue. So you could bring your props maybe into the inside of your right leg. Perhaps you would like to have it onto your leg so you feel some support all the way on your belly. So just find your props and just explore a little bit the position. So see what feels good to you. It should feel nice and delicious, but not too much of an intense stretch. So something that you can hold for a while without inviting sensations of discomfort. So just finding your posture and just simply really melting over your props. You can be soft along the whole line of your back. Just imagining this whole network of connective tissue along the spine, around your rib cage, around your scapula. And just really softening around the structure of your spine. So there's very little to no effort holding the body up. Be soft also in your right leg. It's okay to have a little bend in your right knee. It's okay for the toes to fall out to the side. And just bringing the awareness into the practice, deeply into your body. Noticing sensations. Lengthening your breath.
Noticing the movements of the breath in the body, in your belly, and how your rib cage rises on the inhale and falls on the exhale, and supported by all your intercostal muscles. Notice the movements of your chest. And taking 5 more deep breaths here. And then gently, slowly walking your hands towards your body, raising yourself up. And just bring the hands behind your back, supporting yourself here. Just observing sensations for a moment. And then we're going to extend the left leg forwards, and bringing the right leg in towards the inner thigh, and finding your posture here. And just noticing also often different sides of the body are different, so it might call for something a little bit different on this side. So just be curious to find what serves you on this side. Maybe you need some more props. Maybe this side is a little more open. Taking some time to find your posture, and then just really melting over your props, softening. Remembering is more important what the posture feels like. Don't worry what it looks like. And choose a shape that helps you to release. There can be a little bend in your knee, your toes can be soft. Bringing your attention into the whole length of your spine. Each exhale, just softening a little more. Observing the movements of the breath in the body. Observing the sensations in your left leg. Taking 5 more deep, nourishing breaths here. And then slowly, with the help of the hands, rising up and placing your props to one side and extending your legs. We're going to come onto our backs and just come into your shavasana, spreading the legs wide and hands out to the side, palms up. Just observing any sensations, bringing the awareness into your body. And then we're going to ground through our feet and bring the right leg over the left for our figure of four position. So allowing your right foot just to hang off the side and your right ankle is above the left knee. From here, we're going to hug the left leg in towards us. So you can grab either behind your left hamstring, or if you can, reaching around your shin. And then just settle yourself back down on your mat. Again, allowing everything to be soft here. Try to have the whole spine on the mat. Just observing sensations here in the right hip, in your right IT band. Yin Yoga really helps to strengthen our joints, to release tension in the connective tissue. We're creating this gentle stress and compression in the joints. And this kind of invokes a healthy phase change in the tissue, which would be really important to take care of our joints in activities like running, but just be gentle here. So we try in Yin Yoga to find this edge, the edge where you feel this really lovely stretch, sometimes an amount of discomfort, but never pain. So just going into the place where you feel some release, and then allowing the pose just to softly, slowly evolve as the body opens. Take 5 more deep breaths here. And then gently release. We're just going to extend our legs forwards in our shavasana, just allowing the fascial network to reset. Just observing, becoming mindful of what's going on in your body, in your mind. And then we'll do the other sides. So grounding through the feet and then bringing the left leg on top. Reaching through this hole that you've created, grabbing either onto the back of the hamstring or to the front of your right shin bone. Softening back down, grounding through your back, and hugging the leg in towards you. Observing sensations on this side. Maybe noticing if one side feels a little different. It's quite normal. Just being curious about what's going on in your body, in your inner space. And taking 5 more deep, nourishing, releasing breaths. And then gently releasing, extending your legs, observing your body and giving it time to reset. And then hugging the knees into the chest, rocking a little from side to side, just massaging your back out. And then rolling onto one side and coming up onto your all fours. And having your wrists underneath the shoulders and your knees underneath the hips. We're just going to release through the spine a little here with some cat-cows. So on your inhale, you're going to gaze forwards and draw your heart forwards, scapula together. Allow the belly to soften down towards the mat and have this little curve in your lower back. As you exhale, start to round through the spine, push up the space between the shoulder blades and draw the belly button in towards the spine. Engage your pelvic floor. Inhale to gaze forwards. Exhale to round, push the back of the heart up, tuck tailbone under, belly towards the spine. And feeling into the movements of your spine, moving with your own breath. And we'll return to a neutral spine, maybe bringing your knees a little bit closer together at the back of your mat. On your next inhale, extend your right leg back behind you and really engage your hamstrings and your quads. So looking at strengthening our hamstrings and our quads here. Flexing the toes down towards the ground and try to make sure that your hip is rolling down, this right hip. We're going to do 5 movements of the heel up towards the sky here, just to strengthen into our hamstring and our quads here. So take a deep inhale and exhale, heel up to the sky. 2, 3, 4, and 5. From here, turn the toes out to the side, angling the foot out towards the right. And 5 raises here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, toes point towards the left, angling your heel out to the right. 5 raises. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then straighten it out and kick your heel up towards the sky and 5 raises here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten it out, pointing your toes, inhaling. Exhale and bring the knee towards your nose. Push through the back of your heart here, protracting the space between the shoulder blades, engaging the core. Inhale, extend it back, lengthen out from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Exhale to crunch. Inhale, extend out, lengthen through your spine. Exhale to crunch. From here, stepping the right leg forwards, if you need to, using the help of your right hand to bring it forwards into our Anjaneyasana. Trying to have the knee over the ankle, raising up, gently placing your hands interlaced on your right leg and just sinking down here, finding this lovely opening into our left hip flexor.
If you need the support of something under your left knee, feel free to roll over the mat or bring a nice little cushion underneath the left knee. Sinking down here and observing sensations in your left hip flexor. At the same time, keep drawing the right hip back and kind of squeezing inwards with the hips, creating a lot of stability here. On the inhale, let's raise the arms up towards the sky, really stretching the fingertips up, feeling the full length of your spine. And exhale, hands through the heart and down to your mat. And pushing the right leg back to meet the left. Grounding through the hands and check that wrists are under the shoulders again. And we'll do it on the left side. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Inhale, extend the left leg back and flex into the toes so they're pointing down towards your mat. Make sure that the left hip is level. Start to really engage through the hamstrings and the quads. This exercise has been really great for me to protect my hamstrings with all the stretching that we do in yoga. And also in running, really great to also strengthen the hamstrings and the quads. So 5 raises. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then toes pointing out towards the left, heel in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Toe pointing in, heel out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then curling the heel up towards the sky. You'll feel this nicely in your glute as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend out, inhaling, point the toes. Exhale, bringing the knee towards your nose, engaging the core, pushing up the back of the heart space. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, knee to nose. Really engage the core and step left leg forwards. Bringing your ankle underneath your knee. And then really sinking the hips down. As much as feels comfortable here, don't overdo it. It's a beautiful stretch and Jainasana for our hip flexor here, but we want to go gently, of course. And find integration in your pose by squeezing the hips inwards. Interlacing the fingers and just observing your sensations here. Getting to know the right hip flexor. On your next inhale, we're going to raise the arms up, extending them up, lengthening through the spine, gazing up between the hands. And then exhale, hands through the heart, bringing them down to the mat and stepping left leg back to meet the right. Tuck your toes under. And we're going to push back into our downward facing dog position here. This is quite a foundational pose in yoga, but can be quite difficult when our hamstrings are tight. But let's first here just be playful in our downward facing dog. Just pedaling out your feet. One heel coming down to the mat at a time. Sway the hips to the side. The beautiful pose to get a lovely stretch in all parts of the body, also the side body, when we feel into this free movement. I also love to use this pose to get this nice stretch down my IT band as one hip comes to the side and I dip the left knee under and then the right. And then to find your downward facing dog, hands pressing into the mat, active, and externally rotating the shoulders so that the bicep faces forwards, triceps face towards you. Think about spreading here the scapula externally along your back. You can bend a lot into your knees
so that you find that nice length and straightness through the spine, sacrum up towards the sky, chest towards the thighs. And this is a good place to stay. You'll probably still feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings. And from there, you can start to straighten out the legs only as much as you feel the weight is still moving backwards. And you keep the integrity of that straight spine. Start to walk towards the front of your mat slowly, drawing up the hip bone into its socket, femur bone into hip socket. Slowly, slowly, towards the top of your mat. Arrive with your feet hip distance apart, bend into the knees, grab onto opposite elbow, lengthen through the spine. A few free movements here from side to side. And then starting to straighten out the legs only as much as you feel is comfortable, no pulling or tugging on the hamstrings, and trying to keep that nice straight back. Bringing the weight into the balls of the feet. And then bend into the knees and slowly rise up. And one vertebra at a time, looping the shoulders up, back and down. Coming to the top of the mat, toes together, heels apart in Samastitihi. Take a moment to connect to your breath. And gently opening the eyes. We're going to step right leg behind the left. Inhale the arms up and take a little bend towards the left. Feeling the nice stretch down the whole right side of the body into the IT band. Inhale through center. Left leg behind the right, grab onto left wrist and pull yourself over to the right, hips out towards the left. Inhale back through center. Exhale, hands through the heart, starting to bend. And with your spine straight, hands can arrive onto the shins or maybe the mat. You could also use a block here in front of you, lengthening through the spine. And try to see this bend really happening from the hips. From here, exhale to fold. Inhale, we lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. So with a block, if you're not coming down very far, this could just be a subtle movement of inhale, opening the chest, exhaling to fold. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Make the practice yours, honoring your body. On the next inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, we're going to step the right leg back. Bring the right knee down to the ground. And we're going to squeeze through the hips to raise up into our Anjaneyasana. Gazing up, sinking into the right hip. Exhale, hands through the heart. And straightening out the left leg for Ardha Hanumanasana. You could bring this block into the inside of the left foot. So this front leg is going to be straight. See, you may need to bring the left heel a little bit forwards. Really lengthen through the hamstring. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, folding only as much as feels good to your hamstring. Keeping the hips parallel. Deep breaths. Digging the left heel into the mat. Lengthening through the hamstring. Inhale, creeping forwards into a low lunge. Tuck the right toe under and step back. Inhale to rock forwards, inhaling. Exhale to bring the knees down to the ground and coming in to a half chaturanga dandasana.
And here working on the strength of the arms, elbows into the sides. Inhale, opening up into a low cobra. So you can keep a bend in the elbows, but keep them close in towards your rib cage. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, scapula down your back. And exhale to come down. And placing the fingertips out towards the side of your mat. Inhale, slowly coming up, opening, peeling the heart of the mat. Exhale down, finding fluidity in the spine. Inhale, roll up. Exhale down. Hands under the shoulders and pushing back into a child's pose. Lengthen through the spine. Take a deep breath, sinking the hips towards the heels. And then inhale to come up, tuck the toes under and come into your downward facing dog. Deep breaths. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Externally rotating the shoulders. Exhale to sink the heels. Just moving them towards the mat. Totally okay to have a bend in the knees. Bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, raise the right leg up towards the sky. Really engaging the quads and the hamstrings here. Making a few movements, pointing or flexing your toe. Actively opening into right hip flexor. Exhale, come forward, rock forward, bring the knee in towards the chest. And exhale to step the right leg forwards. Bring the left knee down to the ground, squeeze the hips. We raise up, inhaling, Anjaneyasana, gaze up between the hands, sink the left hip down into the ground. Exhale to bring the hands through the heart. We're going to straighten out here and for our Ardha Hanumanasana. Again, you can have your block here to support you, or just hands on either side of the leg. A little bit easier to walk the fingertips closer to you, a little bit more challenging to have them forwards. Bring attention to the movement of the hips, so not allowing it out to the left, drawing them back through center, lengthening through the hamstring. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding only as much as feels healthy and comfortable, like a nice little stretch to the hamstring, but not an overstretch. Inhale to creep forward into your low lunge, open the heart. Exhale, stepping the right leg back, rock forward, inhaling, coming into your plank, strong here, tuck the tailbone under, back of the heart up. Exhale, knees come down, 90 degrees of the arms, elbows into the side. Inhale, opening up into your cobra, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to come down. Extending the arms back towards the back of the mat. And inhale, start to open up through the chest, really engaging the strength of the back muscles. Exhale, come down. Inhale, rise up again. Engage into your hamstrings and start to raise your legs off of the mat. If you can, even just a little bit. Balancing on your hips, on your lower belly. Draw the shoulders down the back, scapula down the back. Point the toes, strengthen quads, hamstrings, glutes, back muscles. And exhale down. Push back, child's pose. Sinking the hips down, forehead down to the mat. Deep breaths. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, tuck the toes under. Downward facing dog. Start to walk slowly towards the top of the mat. Again, finding that engagement of femur bone into hip socket. Arrive with your feet hip distance apart. Hands on the shins or down to the mat. Inhale, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to fold. Inhale, gaze forwards, and we're going to bring right leg behind the left. You can have a little bend in the left knee. Try to keep the right straight. You could have a block in front of you to bring the hands down on whatever level. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, just gently folding over your legs, bringing the weight a little bit into the ball of your toes. Inhale, we gaze up, step the right leg to meet the left, and bring the left leg behind the right, bending a bit into your right leg, taking whatever support you need, straightening out through the left. Releasing over your leg, softening through your back. And keep the weight moving into the balls of the feet. Inhale, gaze forward. Step the left leg to meet the right. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, look forwards, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, we step left leg back. Bring the knee down to the ground. Inhale, raise up, gazing up. Exhale, hands through the heart and down to the mat. And we're going to straighten out the right leg again for our Hanumanasana, Ardha Hanumanasana. Using your block if you need to. Inhale, lengthen and straightening out your hips. Exhale to fold. Inhale to come forwards, heart forwards. And then bring your hands into the inside of your right leg. Walk the right leg all the way over to the side of the mat. You can come onto your back toes. And we're going to invite some gentle movement here, forwards and back in our lizard pose. Beautiful stretch for runners. Opening into our left hip flexor, into the inner right thigh. And just being curious, inviting whatever movements help you to find some release. Circles from side to side, back and forth. And then you can settle down, bring the left knee down to the ground. And either staying here if this feels quite intense already. If it's too intense, you could always bring a block. Or if you can, if it feels good to you, settling down onto the forearms, lengthening through the back of the neck. Your right foot can remain grounded, or perhaps if it feels safe to your inner thigh, rolling out onto the outside of that right foot. Keep flexing the toes to support the ankle. Deep breaths. Inhale, we'll rise back up. And from here, just curl your toes under and then start to raise your left leg up towards the sky. So we get this nice stretch in our left quad. If it feels good here, come on to the left arm. Inhale, raise the right arm up towards the sky and reaching back towards that foot. So you don't even have to reach the foot. You could just be reaching towards the foot here, activating your hamstring to draw the foot in towards you. If you have the foot opening up through the chest, pushing the foot into the hand, feel this lovely stretch all the way into your left quad, into the left hip flexor. If it feels good, you can also open up into the right leg. Slowly, gently release that. Bringing the hands down to the mat, tucking the toe under, and extending the right leg up to the sky for our three-legged dog. Reaching the leg up, invite some movements.
Maybe bending into the knee and making some hip circles, just releasing. Invite any movement that feels nourishing, that feels like movement therapy. And then exhale, right leg down to meet the left. Rock forwards, inhaling. You can bring the knees down, or maybe coming into Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows into the side. Inhale, opening up into our upward facing dog. Here we have the quads off of the mat. Nice stretch also through the quads. And exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, left leg rises up, point your toes. Exhale to rock forwards and step it forwards. Right knee comes down to the ground. Inhale, raise up. Anjaneyasana, gaze up. Sink right hip down. Exhale, hands through the heart and straighten out the front leg for Ardha Hanumanasana, taking the support of your block if you need it. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, creeping forwards, bringing the hands into the inside of that left foot, walking the left foot over to the side and coming onto your back toes. A little bit of free movement here in our lizard, making movements from side to side, left to right, just exploring your body, being curious. And then once you've had enough movement, walking the right leg back as much as feels comfortable and staying here. If this is already intense for you, also taking a block or coming down on the forearms, lengthening through the back of the neck and feeling into sensations in your hips and your inner thigh. Again, you can roll onto the side of that left foot. Just keep the toes nice and active. Deep breaths. Inhale, we're going to rise up and start to reach the right toes up towards the sky. Come onto this right hand and extend the left arm, big loop externally, rotating the shoulder, thumb facing up, maybe reaching back for your foot, grabbing onto it, or just reaching in the direction of the foot, getting the nice benefit of that opening in our quads. Pushing hand into foot, foot into hand, opening up across the chest as well. Maybe also into the left hip. And gently come up through center. Gently release the back leg. Hands into the inner thigh. Come on to your back toes. And send the left leg up. Three-legged dog. Inviting some movements, kicking the leg up towards the sky. And maybe doing some hip circles. Exploring full mobility of the left hip joint. Exhale, left leg meets right, rock forward, inhaling, strong through the core. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, or bring your knees down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep inhale and a deep exhale. Slowly walking to the top of the mat. Activating hip, activating femur bone into hip socket. And coming to the top of the mat, hands on the shins. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to fold. Bringing the right leg behind the left, bending into the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold and walk a little out to the right. Keep moving the right hip back so that you get this lovely stretch along the IT band. Inhale again, lengthen.
Exhale to fold. You can always have your block here. Inhale through center. Bring the right leg to meet the left. Left leg behind the right. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, look forwards. Walk towards the left. Maybe bring in your block. Drawing the right hip backwards. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And walking back through center. Left leg meets right. Bend into the knees. Slowly rising up. Looping the shoulder up, back and down. And come to the top of your mat and just settle into the grounding of your feet. Close your eyes. Observe your body, observe your breath. We're going to do a little flow moving from the left to the right side of the mat. So I will mirror you so it'll be a bit easier to follow. So come to the right side of your mat and just grounding here through the feet. Really finding the balance by moving a little bit forwards and back. Picking all the 10 toes up and then placing them down one at a time from the pinky toe to the big toe. And really engage up through the quads as you draw the kneecaps up. Tucking tailbone a little bit under. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale to take a bend towards your right. Inhale through center. Exhale, bending towards your left. Inhale through center. Exhale, bringing the weight into your right foot. Start to raise the left knee in towards the chest, hugging onto the knee, coming into your wind removing pose. Find a steady point to gaze at on the ground and really finding your balance here. Good strengthening for the ankles, so important for running and for everybody, I would say. So really use those toes as if they were hands to find your balance. And pelvic floor activation. Belly in towards the spine, engaging your Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale, we're going to bring leg on top, sinking down here in our figure of four pose, just like we did in our yin posture. Here, a bit more in our yang position here. And so encouraging the right knee to move down. And allow the foot to be towards the side of the left leg. Keep flexing your left toes. Only coming down as much as is comfortable. If you're struggling with the balance, bring your book in front of you or your block. Just one more deep breath here. As you inhale, raise up, come back into wind removing pose. And then gaze out towards the left, because we're going to step towards the side, sinking down into our goddess pose, toes out, heels in, tuck the tailbone under. Lengthening through the spine, engaging, strengthening into our quads. Bring the hands onto your thighs. Take a deep inhale, exhale towards your right as you dip left shoulder in towards the center. Inhale through center, exhale towards the other side. Inhale through center, raise up, straighten out the legs. Make the feet parallel, toes can be a little bit in, heels a little bit out. Hands on the hips, inhale, little back bend here. Exhale, bending from the hips with a straight spine. Coming down into your Prasarita Padottanasana. You can have a block down here in front of you, just keeping the spine straight, or otherwise hands coming in line with the toes. Inhale once more to lengthen. Exhale to fold, drawing the crown of the head down towards the mat. The weight moves into the balls of the toes.
Sacrum up towards the sky. Elbows squeezing in towards the center. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale here, hands on the hips. Inhale, raise all the way up. And then from here, pointing your right toes forward. Check that your heels are in line. Your toes could be pointing a little bit inwards. Just feel really stable here. We're coming into Trikonasana. Really strengthen through your quads here. Raise the arms from side to side. As you exhale, really hinging from the hips. Coming down, bringing the hands onto your shin. You could also, a nice way to find alignment in Trikonasana is to bring a block towards the outside of the foot. Keep opening up through this back right hip and tucking left quad under. Sorry, left glute. Deep breaths. Exhale to gaze down. You can bend a little bit into the front of this leg, bring the block into the inside of the foot and step right foot a little bit forwards. It's going to be at a 45-degree angle, kind of as if your feet were on equal tracks, like standing together, but obviously with distance apart. And here, bring attention to the hips. We want right hip moving forward, left hip back, engaging the quads, lengthen through the spine, inhale. Exhale, folding from the hips, only as far as feels good to you and where you can remain that straight spine. Deep breath. Keep grounding through the toes. Inhale, gaze forwards. Exhale, step the right leg back. Bring the knee down to the ground. You can move your block to one side and raise the arms up, gazing up between the hands. Sink right hip down. Exhale, hands through the heart and bring them down to the mat. Lengthen out that front leg for Ardha Hanumanasana. Your block can be here to assist you. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rock forwards. And from here, we're going to come into our side squat. So bring your hands into the inside of your left leg and you can just ground your right foot on the mat. So you get this nice stretch in the inner thigh. Hands can remain down. It's okay if you feel like you need to be quite up here. Just safety first with the inner thigh. If you feel good here, you can rotate the toes up to the sky. Start to sink the hips down, coming into Skandasana. Hands into the heart as you lengthen through the spine. But just go slowly here. You want to feel in control of what's happening, obviously protecting your right knee here and your inner thigh. Deep breaths. Inhale through center. Take a moment to sink down into the hips. And exhale, we're going to reverse that sequence. So either coming into your low squat over here in towards your inner left thigh. Or coming into your Skandasana if that feels good and safe to you. Lengthening through the spine, pushing your left arm into the left leg. From here, on an inhale, walking yourself towards the back of the mat, over your left leg, reversing our sequence. Inhale, raising your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands through the heart, maybe bringing your block to the inside of the foot, and straightening out front leg for Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, coming forwards, stepping your right foot a little bit in at 45 degrees angle here for our pyramid pose. Again, your front hip is going to move back and the back hip moves forward. So there's a scissoring action, lengthening through your left hamstring. Inhale to lengthen, straighten out the spine, ground through the feet. And exhale to fold only as much as feels good to your body, protecting your left hamstring. Deep breaths. Inhale, we gaze up, look forwards. Exhale here. Step your back foot for our triangle pose. So either parallel to the short side of your mat, or your toes can be facing a little bit in if that gives you more stability. You bring the block to the outside of your foot, or just bring the hands onto the shin. Raise your right arm up, stacking your right shoulder on top of the left, gazing up. Feel like someone is stretching that hand up to the sky. And keep opening through this back hip and tucking the front glute under. You want to have a sensation of the spine moving backwards in space, so not folding to the inside of your left leg. Feeling like someone is drawing you up, raise up, inhaling. Exhale, sinking into that goddess pose, tucking your tailbone under. Inhale, raise up, make the feet parallel to one another. Bring the hands onto the hips, toes in, heels out. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale to fold. You can bring your block, if you need to, in front of you, keeping the spine straight. If you feel that you can bring the hands down to the mat, then do so in line with the toes, or maybe a bit more back. Inhale, lengthen once more, and exhale to fold, crown of the head down towards the mat, weight into the balls of the toes. Deep breaths, elbows drawing inwards, softening through your middle back. Draw the belly in towards the spine to find a bit more space to fold in. Inhale, gazing forwards. So it can be quite nice to have your block under here. Just bringing it a little bit forward from your feet. Bringing your right arm down. Inhale, left arm up, taking the twist. At the same time, drawing the right hip inwards so you feel this nice stretch in your inner thigh. Exhale, left arm down. And inhale, right arm up. Feeling the lovely stretch in your left thigh as you kind of draw it inwards towards center. Exhale, down. Folding over. Hands on the hips. Inhale, halfway. Exhale here. Ground through the feet, raise all the way up. And we're going to step towards the other side of the mat, towards the left. Inhale, raising the arms up. Exhale, taking a bend towards your right. Inhale through center. Exhale, bend towards the left. Inhale through center, grounding into the left foot. Exhale, bringing the right knee into the chest, squeezing it in for your wind removing pose. Finding your balance by really rooting through your feet. Use your toes as if they were fingers. Engage into the quad, engage your pelvic floor upwards. Steady gaze point. And then exhale, we find our figure of four here. Lovely, opening into the hip, into the IT band. Coming down only as much as feels good to you. Keep your right toes flexed. Deep breaths, feel into the hip. Inhale to rise up. Draw the knee into the chest again. Gaze out towards the right so you can gently land and coming into your goddess. From here, just walk your feet heel toe them so they kind of a little bit more than hip distance, and sinking down into our yogic squat, our malasana. So here, it's okay if you feel you can't bring the heels down, you can just balance on the toes. Kind of easier to have the toes out, heels in. If you want more of a challenge, bringing the feet parallel to one another. And just honoring your body where it is today. Tucking the tailbone under, pressing the arms into the inner thighs. Feel that nice opening in your inner thighs. Lengthen through the spine. And exhale to release the sit bones down to the ground. Bringing the feet together for Baddha Konasana, making a few movements here with your knees up and down. And then opening the feet as if they were a book, pressing your elbows into the inner thighs. So it's okay if you feel they're rising quite a lot, and just working with your body where it is, slowly allowing the opening to unfold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, folding, moving the chin down towards the ground. So here, not rolling into the spine, looking for length. As the knees fall out gently with the work of gravity, just notice sensations in your hip. Inhale, we're going to rise up. Bring the left leg in towards you and bring the right over the left. Really ground through this right foot. If this is not available to you to bring it over, you could just bring it towards the inside of the left leg. And then from here, really hugging onto the knee, trying to ground through the right sit bone. Inhale, raising your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, bring it behind you, cupping the fingertips and really pushing the ground away from you so you straighten through the spine. Keep hugging on to this right knee with the left arm. Feel the lovely opening into the hips as you twist around. If you want more, you can bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Active through fingertips. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to twist. Inhale through center. Exhale, folding yourself over towards the left. A little trick here, some fun, because yoga should be fun. Keeping the feet where they are. And just moving in your anti-clockwise direction, allowing the balls of the feet to keep moving around with you. And you should arrive with your left leg on top. If that didn't work, don't worry. Just bringing right leg under you, left leg on top. Grounding through your left foot. Hugging in to the left knee, straighten through the spine. And trying to ground at the same time through this left hip. Inhale, bringing the left arm up and back behind you, pushing your fingertips into the floor, straighten out the spine, and hug the left knee in with the right arm. You should feel this lovely stretch down the left IT band, into the hip. If you want more, and bringing the right elbow against the left knee. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. and release. Just folding yourself towards the right. Inhale, rising up. And just release your legs. Last little core effort to come down onto your mat. Going slowly, slowly in those places where you want to go fast. Slowly, slowly. Draw the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. Giving your back a nice little massage. Thanking your body for all the efforts of your practice. And then we're going to come into happy baby, grabbing on to the outside of your feet if you can. If not, just grab onto the back of your knees or the back of your calves. Opening up the hips to the sky, drawing knees in towards your armpits. Maybe rocking from side to side if that feels good to you. And then gently extending the legs up to the sky in our waterfall pose. If you like to soften this, you could bring a little block or a bolster or a cushion underneath your sacrum. Allow a gentle bend in the knees. And start to slow down the breath. If it feels restful to you, taking a deep inhale through the nose and a releasing exhale out the mouth. And another. Really deepening your breath, engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, indicating to your body that it can rest, it can relax, heal and restore. You can gently release, moving your block or cushion to the side. Just hug the knees into the chest. And then release the knees towards the left. Open up the arms and gaze towards the right. It's a gentle supine twist, releasing around the spine. Release the shoulder down to the ground. Feel the lovely stretch across your chest. And then inhale, knees through center. Exhale, knees towards the right. Opening up the arms to the left, gaze towards the left. Inhaling through center and exhaling to extend into your Shavasana. Making yourself comfortable. Allow the feet to fall out to the side. And consciously release every part of your body. And releasing through the feet, releasing your calves. Exhale, relax the quads, your hamstrings. Exhale, softening around the hip into your belly, softening along the whole line of the spine, around the shoulders, all the way down the arms, softening neck and face, whole body relaxed. Softening into your Shavasana and staying here for as long as you like. Thank you for practicing with me.